Archangel Michael and Jesus say you will lose both of us if you skip. You have only 10 seconds. God says, chosen one, do not skip. No matter what. Open it immediately. The realm of heaven has leaned in close to you right now, as if eternity itself is holding its breath. Michael's voice is not just sound, it is a wind that wraps around your soul, whispering your name in a way no one else can. And beside him stands the Lord Jesus, his eyes filled with that rare mixture of love and authority, saying, "We have chosen this exact moment to stand before you because your heart has been seeking, even when your lips stayed silent. Every beat of your heart right now is part of a rhythm heaven has been composing for years, a song that was never meant to be incomplete. And in this song, there is a note only you can play, a step only you can take." Michael holds in his hand a scroll shimmering with a light not from this world, and on it, your name is etched as if it was always meant to be there. The seal is trembling, not from weakness, but from the sheer anticipation of what will happen when you open yourself fully to what heaven is offering. Jesus leans forward, his voice lowering but his presence growing even larger around you, saying, "Do not delay, beloved. Every delay steals the sweetness of this gift. Every hesitation pushes away the fragrance of what we are about to release into your life. You are not here by accident. This message, this moment, has been carried across realms, past battles you never saw, past storms you thought would drown you, straight into your hands right now. And the question is simple, will you step into it, or will you watch it pass you by like so many other divine whispers that got lost in the noise of the world? Michael steps closer, his armor catching a glimmer that feels like sunlight and moonlight woven together. It is not just light, it is truth, wrapping you, making you feel both exposed and embraced at the same time. The scroll in his hand glows brighter, as if it recognizes that your spirit is finally ready. Jesus places his hand gently on your shoulder, and suddenly the air around you changes, thicker, warmer, like every unanswered prayer is now standing in the room, waiting for its name to be called. You can almost hear them, soft echoes of things you've whispered late at night when no one was listening. "Lord, is it my time yet?" you once said under your breath, and now he smiles in that way that tells you the answer was always yes, but the timing was divine. Michael's voice rolls like a wave, steady but powerful. "We have walked with you through nights that tried to convince you morning would never come. We have seen you give when you had nothing left, forgive when no one asked, love when it hurt to do so. And for every moment you thought went unnoticed, heaven kept a record, not to judge you, but to reward you." The weight of those words presses gently against your chest, like a heartbeat from another realm syncing with your own. Jesus turns toward Michael, and without words, they agree, it is time. Michael extends the scroll toward you. "This is more than a message," he says, "this is a release. A release of dreams that were paused, promises that were delayed, and blessings that have been waiting for your yes." The seal begins to open on its own, the golden threads unraveling like a sunrise breaking through the night. You realize this is not just about one gift, it is about a door. A door that only opens when you step forward in faith, no matter how small the step feels. And then Jesus speaks again, softer now, but with an authority that makes the walls of your spirit stand tall. You have been chosen not because you are perfect, but because you are willing. We see the way your heart still leans toward goodness when the world tries to bend it otherwise. We see the flicker of hope you guard even when everything tries to blow it out. And we are here to tell you, guard it no more. Let it blaze. Let it grow. Let it change everything. In this moment, it feels as though time itself is holding still for you, every sound quiet, every distraction far away. Heaven has gathered its attention, its love, its resources, and placed them in this one instant, for you to decide. Michael's eyes meet yours, and you feel that unspoken truth. When you step into this, the ground beneath you will not be the same. The golden seal gives a soft sigh as it loosens, as though it has been waiting lifetimes for this exact second. The edges of the scroll begin to curl back, revealing not just words but waves of living light spilling into the air around you. It isn't ink on parchment, it's moments from your own life, replaying like a film written in heaven's language. You see the nights you cried quietly, thinking no one noticed. You see the mornings you rose anyway, even when the weight on your chest felt heavier than the air. And in between these moments, you see flashes of things that haven't happened yet, rooms you haven't walked into, hands you haven't shaken, smiles you haven't received. Each one is a promise waiting in the wings, ready for your yes. Michael's voice breaks through the vision, steady and clear. You have prayed for doors to open, not knowing some doors were being built just for you. What you thought was a delay was construction. What you thought was silence was strategy. His eyes are not just looking at you, they are looking into you, as though reading the lines of your soul the way a musician reads music. Jesus steps closer, the warmth from his presence sinking into your skin like sunlight after rain. He reaches into the scroll and pulls out a small fragment of light, so small it rests in his palm like a jewel, yet it illuminates the whole room. This, he says softly, is the seed of every dream you've ever had that came from me. I kept it safe when you thought it had died. I watered it when you forgot it was even planted. And now, I place it back into your hands. As he lowers the light into your grasp, it melts into your skin like it belongs there. You feel it in your pulse, in your breath, even in the way the air seems to hum around you. Michael smiles, not the smile of someone who's finished, but of someone who knows the best is yet to come. This is not the end of the gift, he says, it is the beginning of its unfolding. Every step you take from here will pull a thread, and those threads will weave the life you were meant to live. The atmosphere changes again. More alive now, as though heaven has exhaled and is watching to see what you'll do next. You feel a courage rise inside you, not loud or forceful, but steady and unshakable, like a river that knows its own path. Jesus speaks one last time in this moment, his voice a blend of kindness and command. Do not measure the size of your step, only take it. I will enlarge it. I will strengthen it. And I will walk with you until every dream I placed in you becomes the reality I prepared for you. The scroll rolls itself back, the light still lingering in the air, wrapping around you like an unseen cloak. Michael's final glance tells you, this was never about chance. This was appointment. And you have arrived right on time. The air around you is no longer still, it feels alive, like it's carrying a melody you can't hear with your ears but can feel in your bones. The light that Jesus placed into your hands in the last moment hasn't faded, it's growing. It's not just light anymore. It's beginning to take shape, like tiny threads weaving themselves into patterns only heaven understands. Each thread glows in a different shade, gold for provision, blue for peace, green for restoration, white for pure joy. They twist together and form a path right beneath your feet, as if heaven has laid a carpet made only for you. Archangel Michael steps beside you, his wings folding in close as if to shield you from distraction. His voice carries the kind of weight that feels like truth itself speaking. This path is not random. Every step you take here is a key unlocking the very doors you've been asking about in your prayers. There will be moments that feel too small to matter, but every small obedience here moves the hand of heaven in your favor. Jesus walks a little ahead, but not too far, just enough to show you the way without taking away your choice to follow. As he moves, the path behind him becomes brighter, as though his very presence is marking the ground with blessing. He turns to you and says, "You've asked me to turn your dreams into reality." But dreams are not made of wishful thinking, they are made of faith in motion. Today, you will not only believe, you will begin. You take a step forward, and something extraordinary happens. The air shifts, and suddenly you're standing in moments you've longed for, visions of your future, but more vivid than you imagined. You see yourself sitting at a table filled with laughter, surrounded by people who truly see you. You see your hands holding something you once thought you'd lost forever. You see a door swinging wide into a place so beautiful it almost feels too good to be yours, yet you know it is. Michael leans in, his words quiet but burning into your spirit. The dream you thought was impossible was never yours alone, it was heaven's idea, placed inside you so you would dare to hope for more than you could build on your own. His eyes lock with yours, and there's no doubt, this is a moment heaven has been waiting for. Jesus steps closer again, his hand gently resting over yours. You don't have to understand how it will all happen. You just have to keep stepping. I will meet you in every step, and I will turn what you call ordinary into the extraordinary you've been waiting for. The light around you swirls upward now, wrapping you in something you can't quite name but you know is divine. The path stretches further than your eyes can see, but you don't feel fear, you feel readiness. You feel chosen. You feel the quiet, steady truth that this is the beginning of everything you've been promised. Michael's final words for this moment settle deep in your heart. Go forward, chosen one. The door is already open. All that's left is for you to walk through it. The moment your foot crosses the invisible threshold, something shifts in the atmosphere. It's not a loud shift, not a crashing wave, but the kind of gentle change that makes every hair on your arm stand on end. The air feels heavier with glory yet lighter with hope, as if heaven itself has leaned closer to breathe over your life. Jesus takes the lead, yet his pace matches yours perfectly, never rushing, never dragging. Each step forward feels like stepping deeper into a place that was always meant for you, even before you knew to ask for it. The light under your feet doesn't just guide you anymore, it responds to you, glowing brighter with each decision you make in faith. Archangel Michael walks just slightly behind you now, as though his presence is guarding the steps you've already taken so nothing from your past can follow you in. You notice the way his gaze keeps shifting toward the horizon. He sees further than you can, and every time his eyes soften, you know something good is ahead. You come to a doorway, not made of wood or stone but of light itself. It shimmers in colors you've never seen on earth, a living tapestry woven from moments of trust, tears, and unshakable prayers. The frame of this doorway is built from your obedience, your endurance, and your quiet yes when no one else saw. Jesus turns to you and speaks, his voice like warm oil on a cold morning. This is the door I promised you. On the other side are the answers you stopped looking for because you thought they had been denied. On the other side are the people, places, and blessings that were kept aside, reserved, so no one else could claim what has your name on it. Your hands tremble slightly, not from fear but from the weight of the moment. Michael steps to your side, placing his hand over yours. When you step through, don't look back. Not even for a second. The past has nothing new to say to you. Only the future is speaking now. You breathe in deeply, and with that inhale, you feel something release, old disappointments, unanswered questions, all the heaviness that made you wonder if you had been forgotten. You exhale, and it's as though the door responds, opening wider, welcoming you in. The moment you step through, the scene shifts completely. You're no longer standing on the path, you're in the very places you prayed to be. The walls are lined with shelves, and each shelf holds moments yet to come, ready to be lived. You see yourself laughing without restraint, speaking with authority, walking in peace that feels unshakable. In the center of the room is a table. Upon it, a scroll tied with a ribbon of light. Jesus gestures for you to open it. As you untie it, words appear, not inked but glowing, as if heaven is still writing them even as you read. Everything you have lost will return, not as it was, but as it was meant to be. Michael smiles, a rare, unguarded smile, and says, "This is only the first room. There are more. Each one will open as you keep walking. The dream is no longer just in your heart, it's in your hands now." You realize then that the door behind you hasn't closed, it's still open, not for you to go back, but to allow more light to pour in. It's a reminder that what began today is not a moment, it's a movement in your life. Jesus steps closer, placing his hand over yours again. You didn't just step into a room, you stepped into alignment with what I have been building for you all along. Keep walking. I am not done yet. You turn to the next door, sensing it's not just the passage into another space, it's a passage into another version of you. The light spilling from its frame isn't the same as the first, it's warmer, richer, like the golden glow of the sun setting over still waters. There's a peace in it that speaks without words. Jesus moves ahead this time, his hand reaching back for yours. The moment you take it, a wave of calm flows through you, not the absence of movement, but the assurance that even in motion, you are secure. This room, he says softly, is where you will see the things you thought were lost forever, returned in ways you never imagined. When the door swings open, you step into what feels like a garden, but unlike any you've walked in before. The air is alive, the leaves seem to hum, and every petal glows from within. A path winds through it, and you notice that as you walk, flowers bloom instantly under your steps, each one bearing a name, peace. joy, restoration, grace. Michael follows close, his gaze scanning the space with a deep satisfaction, as though he had been guarding this place for years, waiting for you to arrive. Every seed you thought died in the ground was only hidden, he says. Time didn't destroy it, it prepared it. Halfway through the path, you see a fountain unlike any you've ever seen. Instead of water, it overflows with light, and every ripple carries a memory, not of the past, but of the future that's already been written. You see yourself surrounded by laughter, walking in places that once felt out of reach, holding the hand of someone whose presence feels like home. Jesus leans closer to the fountain, and the light shifts, focusing on one image, a table prepared for you. Not just a meal, but a place where the people who truly value you gather, their faces lit with joy because you are there. I've been preparing this, he whispers, for the day your heart was ready to receive it without fear. You notice a tree in the distance, its branches heavy with fruit, each glowing softly. Michael walks toward it, plucking one and placing it in your hands. This fruit is not just provision, he explains, it is the reward of patience. You waited when others rushed ahead. You trusted when others gave up. And now, it is yours to taste. The moment you take a bite, something awakens inside you. It's not just flavor, it's memory, it's promise, it's the sudden realization that nothing good was ever truly gone, it was only being made ready. You feel stronger, lighter, more alive than you have in years. The garden path leads you to another doorway. This one isn't glowing with gold or white, it's lined with deep, royal blue, a color that seems to pull you in like the night sky pulls the stars. Jesus places his hand on your shoulder. The next room will require you to step forward without needing to know every detail. But remember, where my presence is, there is no uncertainty that can harm you. Michael steps beside you once again, his wings faintly unfurling as if in preparation. I will walk with you, he says simply, his voice carrying the weight of centuries of battles fought and won. As you stand before the door, you realize something profound. Each room is not just a place, but a part of the miracle unfolding within you. This is not a journey you are observing from the outside, it is a journey you are becoming. And as the door begins to open, you feel the pull, not of obligation, but of destiny. The royal blue door stands before you like the calm depth of an endless ocean, the kind that invites you to dive without fear. Its frame is carved with patterns you've never seen before, circles within circles, flowing like ripples on still water. As you step closer, you realize they are moving, alive, each one spinning slowly as if in harmony with the heartbeat of heaven. Jesus steps forward first, his hand resting gently on the door. His eyes meet yours with that same quiet strength, that assurance that even if the path is unseen, his presence is more than enough to light it. What you are about to see is not just for your eyes, he says, but for your spirit. It will remind you of who you truly are. The door opens without a sound, and a wave of soft light spills out. Not bright like the sun, but deep and soothing, like moonlight reflecting on a tranquil lake. As you cross the threshold, the air changes. It feels heavier, not with burden, but with meaning. Every breath carries the scent of something familiar yet unplaceable, like the fragrance of home after a long journey. Inside, the space is vast, with walls that shimmer as if woven from threads of midnight sky. Stars flicker across them, moving gently like fireflies caught in a dance. In the center of the room, there is no floor, only a vast expanse of water so still it mirrors the heavens above perfectly. You can't tell where the sky ends and the water begins. Michael appears beside you, his presence steady, his gaze fixed on the reflection. "This is the room of eternal identity," he says. "Here, nothing is hidden. Here, you will see yourself as heaven sees you." You step to the edge of the water, and slowly, the reflection changes. At first, you see yourself as you are now, your face, your form, your life. But then, layer by layer, something begins to shift. The weariness you've carried fades from your eyes. The shadows of past disappointments lift from your shoulders. The reflection now shows you robed in light, a crown resting gently on your head, not as a symbol of authority you earned, but as an inheritance you were born into. Jesus walks to your other side, his voice soft but sure. "You've been seeing yourself through the lens of what was taken from you. But I have always seen you as complete. Whole. Chosen." The moment he says it, the reflection deepens, and now you see more. You see the moments you stood firm when no one noticed, the tears you wiped away when no one comforted you, the quiet prayers that no one but heaven heard. Every one of them, now shimmering as jewels in the crown upon your reflection. Michael leans closer, his voice low, almost reverent. "There are things you thought were forgotten by God, but they were stored here. Every unseen act of love. Every sacrifice. Every time you chose forgiveness over bitterness. All of it lives here, shaping the true you." Then something remarkable happens. The water begins to rise, but it doesn't spill or surge. It lifts into the air, forming a sphere of light, and inside it, you see moments of your future. You see yourself standing in places that once felt unreachable. You see doors opening without effort. You see people whose hearts are drawn to yours not out of obligation, but because they recognize the light within you. Jesus gestures to the sphere. This is not a promise to be earned. It is a truth to be embraced. Walk in it. The sphere dissolves into countless small lights that drift toward you, settling gently into your skin, into your spirit. You feel taller, not in height, but in presence. Stronger, not in muscle, but in certainty. Michael takes a step back, wings folding in with deliberate care. You are ready for the final chambers. They will not just show you who you are, they will place into your hands the keys to what has been prepared for you. You glance back at the royal blue door, realizing that walking through it was more than a step into a room, it was a step into the truest version of yourself. Ahead, another door waits. This one is pure white, glowing with a steady light that feels both new and eternal. As you approach, you sense that everything you've seen so far has been leading to this moment. And with Jesus on one side and Michael on the other, you know, you will not be walking through it alone. The white door stands before you now, not just as an entrance, but as an invitation. It glows with a light that does not hurt the eyes, but soothes the soul, the kind of light that seems to understand every wound you've carried and promises that nothing will remain the same beyond this point. Jesus stands at your right, Michael at your left, and the air between them feels like a bridge stretched between eternity and this very moment. Michael speaks first, his voice steady, like the low hum of a great cathedral. This door will not open by force. It will open by recognition. Only when your heart accepts who you are can it reveal what is waiting. His words settle into you like seeds, finding their place deep inside. Jesus smiles gently, his eyes reflecting a love so complete that it makes you realize, nothing you've been through has been wasted. Every tear, every long night, every moment you thought heaven was silent, none of it was absence. It was preparation. Are you ready to see what I've kept for you? He asks, and even though your voice trembles, you answer, yes. The moment you speak, the door responds, not swinging open like an earthly door, but dissolving into light that folds inward, as if making room for you to step through. And what you see on the other side steals the breath from your lungs. The chamber is vast, yet it feels personal, like it was made with your soul in mind. The floor is not stone or wood, but a surface that looks like living glass, reflecting both your image and something greater, a version of you already walking in fullness. The walls curve upward into a dome that is alive with movement, golden threads weaving across it in intricate patterns that seem to tell a story. You step forward, and the dome reacts. The golden threads rearrange themselves into scenes from your life, not the moments of pain, but the moments of choice. The day you chose kindness over retaliation. The time you gave without expecting anything back. The moment you forgave even though it hurt. These are not just memories, they are the foundation stones of your inheritance. At the center of the chamber, there is a table unlike any you've seen. It is carved from a single piece of luminous crystal, and upon it rests a chest, small enough to hold in your hands, yet emanating a depth of presence that feels as if it could hold the whole sky. Michael moves closer, his expression reverent. This chest has waited for you longer than you've been alive on earth. It holds the portion of your destiny that could only be given when you were ready to carry it. Jesus places his hand over the lid. Many chase after what is not theirs, but this, he looks at you, this was written in your name before the first sunrise. The chest opens without a sound. Inside, you see objects that defy description, not because they are strange, but because they are beyond earthly comparison. There is a key, but it glows with a light that seems to pulse in rhythm with your own heartbeat. There is a scroll, bound with a deep blue ribbon, and though you have not read it yet, your spirit already knows it contains words that will change the course of your life. And there is something else, a small vial filled with liquid light, swirling like captured dawn. Jesus lifts the vial and places it in your hands. This is restoration, he says. Every place where loss marked you, every dream that seemed to die, this will touch and make whole again. Michael takes the key and presses it into your palm. This will open the doors you thought were shut forever. When you use it, no force can keep you out. Finally, Jesus unties the ribbon on the scroll and lets it unroll. The words shimmer as they form before your eyes. Not in a language of earth, but in the language of your spirit. You understand them instantly, as if you've always known. They speak of seasons yet to come, of people you will meet, of moments that will feel like déjà vu because heaven has already shown them to you. Tears form in your eyes, but they are not tears of sadness, they are the overflow of a heart that finally sees what has always been true. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not waiting for approval. You are already chosen. Michael steps back, wings unfolding slowly, each feather catching the chamber's light. What happens next is not by chance. It will be drawn to you, because heaven has already sent the command. You glance once more at the chest, now empty because everything in it has been placed into you. The chamber grows brighter, but the light is not closing in, it is opening outward, revealing a path ahead that you could not see before. Jesus looks at you with that knowing smile, the one that holds both joy and assurance. Walk forward now. Everything has been set in motion. And with their presence beside you, you step into the light, your story unfolding, not as a hope, but as a certainty written before time began. The light does not blind you, it receives you. It wraps around you like a river that flows in every direction at once, carrying not just your body, but your memories, your hopes, your unanswered prayers. There is no floor, no sky, only the feeling of being completely known. The air itself hums with a sound that feels like music and heartbeat combined, a rhythm older than the earth, yet beating perfectly in sync with yours. Michael walks slightly ahead, his wings brushing against the light as if guiding it into patterns you can follow. Jesus walks beside you, his robe flowing without wind, his gaze forward yet aware of every breath you take. Neither speaks at first, because the journey itself is speaking to you, through colors that shift like living fire, through scents of jasmine and rain that remind you of moments you didn't know were still stored in your soul. This is the corridor of completion, Jesus finally says, his voice soft, but strong enough to quiet every anxious thought. Every step you take here seals what heaven has already given you. There is no going back from this point, only forward. You realize there is no sense of time here, no seconds ticking away, no rush, yet everything feels urgent in the most peaceful way. The light begins to thin in front of you, revealing arches carved from something that looks like white crystal, but alive, pulsing as if it breathes. Each arch you pass under feels like crossing into a new layer of your destiny. Under the first arch, you feel the weight of old disappointments dissolve, not like they are erased, but like they are transformed into something beautiful you can now carry without pain. Michael glances back at you, a faint smile on his face. Not every closed door was a loss, it was a shield. As you hold it, you feel a rush of strength, as if the very core of you has been infused with new life. You can see farther now, not just what is in front of you, but the way the path bends, the way it leads to a place where both Michael and Jesus will reveal something greater still. Michael spreads his wings once more. We are not at the end yet. What is coming next will be the unveiling. You keep walking, the light ahead beginning to shimmer differently, not as a wall, but as a veil waiting to be lifted. Your heart quickens, not with fear, but with the sense that whatever lies beyond will make sense of everything. And together, you step toward it. The veil ahead shimmers like liquid light, its surface rippling as if it can sense your nearness. It doesn't feel like a barrier, it feels like an invitation, waiting for the exact second when you're ready to step through. Michael and Jesus slow their pace, walking on either side of you now, their presence creating a stillness so deep it silences even the unspoken thoughts in your mind. Before we lift this, Jesus says, his eyes holding yours with a weight that makes time itself seem to bow, know this, what you see beyond here will change how you see yourself forever. You will not walk back the same way you came. Michael's hand rests gently on your back, not pushing, but steadying. The veil is not here to keep you out, it is here to keep everything meant for you intact until you arrive. His words echo inside you, making you realize this moment was not rushed. Every delay, every twist in your journey, was to ensure you met this threshold at the right time, not a moment sooner. The light of the veil shifts, revealing shapes and colors moving beyond it, like the shadow of a dawn you haven't yet seen. A gentle wind moves from it toward you, carrying scents you can't name but recognize deep in your spirit, scents that remind you of prayers answered in ways you didn't expect, of mornings when you woke without heaviness, of laughter that healed more than words could. Jesus moves his hand toward the veil, and the ripples respond as if greeting him. This is your unveiling, he says softly. What was hidden from you is about to be placed in your hands. What was withheld is about to flow freely. And the love that has been constant for you will now become visible in ways you can touch. You take a step forward, and the ground beneath you changes. It feels like warm light solidified into something you can walk on, yet each step sends a pulse through your whole being, like your soul is aligning with something it's always known but never seen. Michael watches you closely, his wings slightly curved as though protecting this moment from any shadow. Are you ready? He asks, not as a challenge, but as a confirmation, a seal of agreement between your will and heaven's timing. When you nod, the veil begins to lift, not with force, but with grace, curling upward like a sunrise unfolding. The first thing you see is not gold, not crowns, not mansions, it's a table. Long, radiant, set with places for more than you can count. And you understand instantly, this is not just for you, it's for every life connected to yours, every heart your path will touch. The table stretches into what looks like infinity, yet every detail is personal. A cup you once loved drinking from, a flower you once picked, a melody that once made you stop and listen. It's as if heaven has gathered every fragment of joy from your life and woven it into a feast that will never end. Jesus steps beside you, his smile deep and knowing. You see? You were never walking toward an empty promise. You were walking toward a prepared place. Beyond the table, you see doors. Dozens of them, each one different. Some carved from wood, some glowing like fire, some clear as crystal. You somehow know each door holds a part of your destiny, waiting for you to open in its time. Michael leans closer. And none of these will close for you again. The light grows warmer, surrounding you until you can't tell where you end and it begins. And in that moment, you feel it, not just the presence of Michael and Jesus beside you, but the certainty that you belong here, that this was always written for you, and that the unveiling has only just begun.